What's the motherfucking deal? Yes, I know it's still misspelled. I know I have not changed that. But welcome to the Den, man. If you're not familiar with the Den is a conversation, man. A place where we can, first we can fix our fucking seat. That didn't help. But anyway, welcome to the Den, man. A place where we can have conversation. A place where we can discuss what's going on in the world and what's going on in your world. I'm your host, Honcho. If you don't know, now you know. If you don't know, now you know. Hey man, tonight we're going to talk about something interesting that's been going on. Seems as of late, it's been going on since the beginning of time, but it's definitely been put on blast. Quite recently, the last couple of weeks, some things have been going on. And tonight we're going to talk about the the high cost of infidelity. And you're like, well, what do you mean there? Well, what I'm talking about is, and it's funny because, we'll get into it. But what we're going to talk about tonight is just, why is it that men, powerful men, broke men, it really doesn't matter. Women too. When it happens, they don't put it out there as much. They try to keep that stigma that it doesn't happen with women, but it happens just as much. Why do people venture outside of their commitments to find additional loving, if you will? We're going to run down some names. We're going to discuss some things. But before we get into that, we'll see which friends in the Den are joining us this evening. Shout out to Ray and John over at J&J. Man, this Den at 10, man. I gotta keep the schedule. But I was tuned in and listening. There's, like I said, some good stuff going on over there. But let me see what we got shaking. And let's get into the conversation. I see Dr. Rabbit and Doo-Doo Child. Okay. Broderick, T. Chala, what's the motherfucking deal? Edman, Dominic, J. Dizzle, what's the motherfucking deal? Okay, very interesting stuff that you put there, Rabbit and Doo-Doo Child. Okay. So let's talk about what's going on in modern society. Let's talk about what's been going on in society since the beginning of time. Depending on what your beliefs are, I know some folks are religious. I know some people aren't religious. I know some people, have all different types of beliefs. Some people are space age. Some people are into numerology. Some people are into astrology. Some people are pagan. Some people are Catholic. You have all kind of different whatevers. And again, that's religion and stuff. But again, beliefs and all these things. But one thing that is common across everything is motherfuckers cheat. Okay? And that's what they do. Yes, Jay, there's a wise philosopher, Devin. The wise philosopher, Devin. And that's why motherfuckers, when you said the other day, you never smoked a day in your life, but you still listen to Devin. Because Devin is life music. And Devin is very interesting because, again, it's just, it's common knowledge, but just put in such a way that everyone can appreciate it. But again, like I say, I just want to run over some names. Most recently, I know it was John Gray, and I kind of want to talk more on that, but I haven't had a chance to really get deep into that information. I just kind of know the basics on that. But you have John Gray, you have Jeff Bezos most recently, and his situation is going to be very interesting. Why I say the high cost is because generally, they say it's cheaper to keep her, but you don't always get to keep her. And Bezos is getting a divorce, and they're saying that his wife will probably become the richest woman in the world. You wasn't with me boxing up in the warehouse at Amazon. She will become the richest woman in the world once this divorce happens. Interesting. Think about how rich Tiger Woods' wife got after his situation. Think about some of the relationships that stayed together, but it still cost a significant amount of money. Think about Kobe Bryant. Butt boinking masseuses or rehabilitation, whatever they are. I don't even remember where she was in Colorado. $4 million ring. I mean, it's always something. You can think about, Clinton and his little scandal. It cost him maybe not much fiscally, because we already know that what's her name had political aspirations and she didn't want to ruin that image. He'd been doing that for quite some time. But man, about powerful men, I think when he was talking about Schwarzenegger and some other people. Oh yeah, I've definitely seen Bill Burr's on this. But a lot of people saying Bill Burr has gotten soft as of late. I haven't really. I think he had a thing on What's Up Lyric Northside. I think they said he was on Joe Rogan or something. I didn't get a chance to catch that one, but they were saying that Bill Burr is starting to get soft, and I don't know. We'll have to see how that works, man. We'll see how that works. NT wrote me on the funny nigga Shaolin, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Good to see you. So again, yeah. And then again, Arnold, we can kind of briefly talk about that. You can talk about, like I said, it's just it's a laundry list of men. DeMarcus, what's the motherfucking deal? It's a laundry list of guys who have lost quite a bit for venturing outside of the marriage. Women, I don't think you can say have lost as much, because the deal with the divorce is you got to basically break bread. And a lot of times, I think when you have, especially when it's a powerful guy, either he doesn't want that type of embarrassment. I'm sure it happens. Well, my wife was out there cheating on me. Scottie Pippen's situation almost happened, but I think they remained together. And so, well, they were working because she was fucking with Future. I think they were together damn near 20 years, something like that. Like I say, and the thing about it is, honestly, whether the man is the cheater or the one getting cheated on, it's a lose for him. Say Matt Barnes situation. Who was Matt Barnes? Was that with Fisher was fucking with his old lady or something like that? I think something like that. And like I said, it's a lose for most guys, man, no matter what the situation is. And yeah, man, that's real wild. That's super wild. It's a lose whether you, again, like I said, because if your old lady cheats on you and you're the breadwinner, then you still got to break bread. You don't win unless you get a prenup. You get cheated on and then you get to pay for it. It's a lot of motherfuckers. I remember, as a matter of fact, I remember one Joe Rogan thing where he was talking about a guy that was married, and basically he's still paying for his old lady. She's got a whole boyfriend in the house. She's got all this other stuff. And the reason she won't get married is because if she does get married, then, that income stops. And he's doing relatively well for himself. And I think that when that was happening, he might have been doing better for himself, but he still has to make those payments because she won't get married. But she fucking with another dude, got a long-term situation and all that other stuff. And the man has to continue to pay alimony, man. Very, very fucking unfortunate. Now, Jeff Bezos' situation, he was the chick that he was fucking with, she's already going through a divorce, and she didn't release the thing. Like, sometimes you got to think. Again, you got to think when you're in a powerful situation. You like Meek Mill said on the fucking live, he's like, man, I'm so rich I can't even fuck a bitch raw. Because you gonna lose. I mean, if it's not anonymous baby, it's, I'm going to go ahead and put you on blast. You can think about all these motherfuckers fucking with these IG thoughts. Who is it? They just said I don't think he's married, but the Devin Booker kid. He done got his high school chick pregnant that he used to be with in high school. Not a high school girl, but the chick he used to be with in high school, got her pregnant, got some Instagram model pregnant. And then I think was while he's dating somebody famous. I forgot who. But I mean, it's... Already rapping. J&J, what's the motherfucking deal? John, what's the motherfucking deal? Say 45, never married. Say that shows you how much they like marriage. Prenups get overturned all the time. Man, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's bad, man. It's bad. Like, so the thing is, honestly, once you make that commitment and you become powerful, if you are already in a committed situation and you become powerful, you are fucked. You're fucked for fucking. I mean, once you make that commitment to a marriage, I mean, you there's no out for you. Again, it's a business decision, essentially. Because I think back, way back when, And I'm sure there were people who oversaw it, but I'm pretty sure motherfuckers back then would just basically say, you know what, we're married, it is what it is. You know, this is my wife, I'm committed to whatever. All this going in front of a judge and, you know, all this, especially the ceremonious shit that they do nowadays. And that's why I say, I mean, I'm not really sold on the whole ordeal because, I mean, there's no real benefit. Now, if it's somebody you want to be committed to for the rest of your life, that's fine. I have no problem with that. If you're really going to be committed and, you know, you don't intend to stray and do all this other stuff, you know, whatever, you know, do what you do. But there's no real benefit to men to get married. The whole ceremony and having the big luxurious showcase doesn't benefit men at all. That's usually for the woman so she can show off for other women and say, look at, I'm a princess for a day and I'm all this and all that to make other women feel like shit. That's really what that is. You know, I mean, it's really no real benefit because if you can stay tried and true, and hopefully she does the same. But if she ventures out and does something outlandish, if you will, and you decide, hey, you know what, can't tolerate that, can't deal with it, you know, we gotta go our separate ways, you're paying for her transgressions. You know what I mean? Yeah, ceremony. What'd I say? I said something else. I don't know what I said. But say my main chick live in Houston, she got mad paper. She told me that if we get married, we getting a prenup. I said, cool, we just should get married. Yeah, I mean, shit. We should just be cool. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, what is wrong with that? I mean, if you plan to be committed to somebody, you know, I know people want the title. It feels like something. I don't know what the rings. Maybe they got that power like the Lord of the Rings or something. You know, maybe bond. I don't know what it does because you see that stuff doesn't prevent anybody from doing anything. If you love and care for somebody, I don't know why that can't be. And I know that there are legal benefits, you know, depending on insurance and property and stuff like that, you know, later on and all that stuff. Yeah, I peep how he did that. Damn, Terrence Howard got married for the 5th time, 3 times the same. What the fuck? What kind of nonsense is that? But again, you know, if you're gonna make that decision, you got to be willing to take everything that can possibly come with that. And again, I'm not knocking anybody for getting married. You know, Eddie Murphy told y'all way back in the day. I can't remember, was that Delirious or was it Raw? I can't remember which one we was talking about. He gonna go marry him an African bush bitch. Who's the other one that's paying big bucks? There's another one paying like a couple of $100,000 a month. Is it Paul McCartney? Is it Paul McCartney the one that's paying a bunch of money? Bunch of money. You ain't writing no songs for me. And my thing is like, honestly, I feel like some of this stuff is getting ridiculous. At some point, if you didn't help, if you can't prove that you helped build the business, if there's no kids involved, if there's a lot of other stuff you got to look at, there has to be a cap. $20,000, that's so fucking ridiculous. Motherfuckers don't make that in a year. Some motherfuckers ain't making that. You working at McDonald's, you ain't making that in a year. Motherfuckers getting $20,000 a day just for existing. But at some point there has to be a cap and say, okay, this is it. This is it. You know, some of the ridiculousness is outrageous. I've become accustomed to living a particular kind of way. And so I need to receive this amount of money so that I can continue being accustomed. That makes no sense to me. You need to get accustomed to being a regular motherfucker and figure some shit out. Like, you know, it's really a bad deal. You know, you say if you work at McDonald's full time, how much do you earn maximum that year? Shit, is it technically full time? Because I think McDonald's, they motherfucking ass gonna slide you right to about 39.99. They are not gonna give you 40 hours a week. And so depending on what you're making, because some people, you know, are making minimum wage, some people make a little bit more than that. You might not even, I don't know if you're hitting 20K. I mean, if you're making minimum wage, say you getting, that gets you about maybe let's say you're getting maybe $1,000 a month. And that's not even really, you're not really getting that at minimum wage. Let's just guesstimate that. If you're not getting $1,000 a month, you're not getting fucking $12,000 a year. You're not making very much money. And again, because I think managing at McDonald's, you might get, I think they get like 14 or 15, which is still not a whole lot of money. And again, especially if you're not getting overtime, you're not getting full-time hours, anything like that, you're barely making it, if you're making it at all. Because you got to think about apartment, food, or mortgage. Well, maybe mortgages, maybe or maybe not. But let's say rent, food, gas, lights, things like that. I mean, you're gonna barely be able to thrive. You're gonna barely make it. But again, you're at McDonald's, it's because you chose to do things that get you at McDonald's. When I was there, because I chose to do things that made me end up at McDonald's. It is what it is. So my thing is, though, this isn't about McDonald's, but it's a situation that I find crazy. But let's kind of get to the root of it. Like, we know it's fucked up. We've gotten to the point that we realize it's fucked up. We definitely know that. Now, I sit here and I've told y'all, in my past, I've made poor decisions, if you will. I've made bad decisions, and as far as venturing outside of my commitments, if you will. I was not always the best of boyfriends. A lot of things happened in my life, mentality changed, a lot of things changed. And so it's a bit different now, quite a bit different. But again, like I said, in my past, I definitely had my ways. And, you talk about what makes a man go out and do that. What is it? Is it the fact that you want to feel like you still got it? Just say you were slanging away. Well, no, I wouldn't use such a euphemism. Yeah, I was slanging away. Is it a lack of interest in your own relationship, or of things not happening? I don't even know if it was that. I don't know if it was just saying, oh, well, I can't. I don't know if it was the attention. I don't know what it was, but it was thinking with the dickhead and not the big head. And so, again, like I say, look hard, you just got unbanned. You slow your roll. Like I say, it's a very unfortunate situation, but what I wonder is, I wasn't ever really powerful. I might have had my own little, situation going on with whatever I was doing at that time. And, I had leverage in certain situations, but I wouldn't say I was a powerful man in the sense of like a Bezos, richest man in the world, or Tiger Woods, who was a billionaire, or, any of these guys, Kobe Bryant, and, NBA multiple time champion. I ain't even see the, hold on. I ain't see the flex. I'm never on that level. You know what I mean? But again, so I wonder, when you're at that level, you have way more opportunity than, say, a regular guy like me. And is it tougher for a guy in that position to, hold up, man, I'm on the streak, I'm gonna bounce back? But is it tougher for a guy who's in that position to, you say, what about LeBron? You think he's paying to cover up? I wouldn't be surprised. LeBron has an image to maintain, and, it's the good guy. And I think now you have some of these women who are happy, I'm just happy to be here, because they're in that situation. And they're waiting until the motherfucker makes peak money, because LeBron's going to make way more money, or he's going to still make money after he retires. And again, some of them don't care. Again, you got these low budget bitches, a lot of these little NBA baby mamas and Instagram thoughts. And again, a lot of it comes down to putting a price on the pussy. And women, for the majority of them, put a value on their vagina value, if you will. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And so my thing is, look, we ain't talking about no goddamn football in here. Save that for tomorrow. But I say you're a collection of sex cells, and at the peak of sexual activity, you like to act according within the design of all living creatures to reproduce, multiply, and spread genetic diversity. Yes, these things quite possibly do take place. And I know when I was younger, and I think maybe with less control and didn't have as much sense in life, it's one thing. But again, a lot of these guys are older. Schwarzenegger wasn't a spring chicken when he was boinking the maid. Is it the fact that men have women that are close to him? Because I think that the chick that that Bezos was fucking with, I think she was somewhere in that little inner circle, with someone he knew. What is it? What is it that causes men to risk everything, risk their family, risk their livelihood, risk their image, to go out and take a risk, to go out and say, I'm gonna go get my willy wet because I feel like it. Like, is it a lack of happiness at home? Is it, and ultimately, is it your partner's job to keep you happy, to keep you from venturing out? What if your partner loses interest? What I mean, that's like I say, what is the insurance for? You say you think men and women get bored of each other? You say, yeah, it is. But like I say, what if you're doing one thing and you're trying to stay committed, you're trying to do something, your partner just doesn't show interest, even though now you've got that commitment, but you risk losing it all. Like, is there a clause? Is there some type of insurance to prevent something like that from happening? You say, gonna have to take, but all right, that's a bit. We'll be here. That's why we have escorts. But again, when you're the richest man in the world, do you not think, I can't fucking trust these hoes? Like, there should be nothing. There should be nothing that a woman could say, if I'm the richest man in the world, that makes me think that she's going to keep this situation secure. I'm about to say Shakur. I don't know, one of them. But that she's going to keep this situation secure. See, now I done got myself all caught up. Secure. The bitch went out and was releasing fucking the text messages that he sent her. Like, as a man, you got to think about this. If these regular hoes are fucking Snapchatting and screenshotting and doing all that shit, it's fun. Yeah, Kevin Hart went out and cheated too. I forgot about that. Kevin Hart been having a few scandals this last year or so. What makes you think that a woman wants to wear a mantle or some type of title or have some type of status, to put her over the other bitches? So even if it is some type of side chick status, most women who are side chicks feel vindicated in the fact that I got that man to not spend time with the woman that he's committed to come lay up with me and lay in my bed. Or again, you think a bitch is not going to tell her friends, she's not going to speak to her friends and say, I'm fucking the richest man in the world. Do you not think that she wouldn't take some type of pride in saying something like that? I mean, seriously. And you have to think about these things. Like, not no American woman. You know what I'm saying? Not an American woman. Look, you better go international and get her a temporary visa and hire her at Amazon or some shit and make sure she don't speak no English. But what I'm saying is that it's really crazy. See, lines that prize, a harem of bitches. And again, I think that's very interesting because I know in some of those other countries, I think, further east, if you can afford extra wives, or I'm sure there's some place in Africa like that too, you can afford the extra wives and you get extra wives. You can't afford the wife, you don't get the wife. And I know that's why they say that, it's the levels of frustration over there are different because you got a lot of poor people or poor men who can't afford a wife. You got a lot of rich guys with 10, 15 bitches, they supporting them and they, getting all the action they want. And motherfuckers are upset. You say we're edging towards women bashing again. I think we put our toe in it a little bit. We just testing the water. But, it's not necessarily about that because at the same time, you have to have some level of, I don't know, maybe it's a Western thing. Maybe it's an American thing. But as a man, you have to have some level of understanding as to what the situation that you're in, awareness of your current situation. Again, so if you're the richest man in the world, you might as well keep your shit zipped up tight in a fucking. Hold on. All right. All right. All right, there we go. Hopefully we're back in it. Look, and damn. This nigga talking about some ragdoll reset the router. But my thing is, again, you know, why is that, man? Why is that? Again, what I was saying, that you need to keep your shit zipped up, put in a plastic bag, and under lock and key or whatever, because I mean, you got too much to fucking lose. Did Hugh Hefner do the right thing? You know, be a playboy for life, knowing that he may have too much to lose in his situation. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, once you're rich, the chances of a real relationship are going down the drain. You don't know who you can trust. You don't know who you can trust if you're just well off. You don't even got to be rich. So, you know, you have a lot of women who just want to be comfortable, who want to be in a comfort zone and be able to, you know, do what they want to do and live securely. And I'm not knocking all women. It's on both sides. But for the most part, when these situations occur, it's a woman who benefits more so than a man. And that's just being real. So, you know, if you're a rich person, a rich man, rich woman, whatever you may be, because, you know, you've seen it flip a little bit. Because who was it? Who got hit up? Was it Mary J? I think Mary J. Blige got hit up for her situation. But I think old buddy said he helped write some songs or some shit. Like, it might have been Mary J. It might have been one of them other ones. But again, you know, hold on. But and so the thing about it is, now she on stage with her horrible dance moves, you know, dancing like the pimp in the video when he stepped in the door and shit, you know, with that shit she was talking about. So my thing though is, see, beyond the funny, he cheated. That nigga brought a knife. You say Mary J. husband, the whole ass nigga. I don't even know who the nigga is, honestly. Like, I have no idea who he is. You know what I'm saying? I think that he actually took her back to court to try to get some more money or some shit. You know, like, and this is not to say that it doesn't happen on the other end. Like, who's the other one? What's her name? The other dude, Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams' husband. This motherfucker got a whole side chick with a whole house in the whole same neighborhood with a whole kid. So this dude got like a whole extra family in the same situation. So, and what's her name? And it's been 2 or 3 times I didn't talk about this motherfucker cheating, but you know, she don't want to talk about that. That's news, ain't it? She'll talk about everybody else in their relationships, but ain't she famous? Why she don't? You know, yes, it's more so for the extra kids, but I think he'd be fucking with her for a decade and some change. So my thing is, aren't you a celebrity, Wendy? Isn't that celebrity news, celebrity gossip? Ain't that what you're talking about? So why don't you want to talk about that story? She don't ever speak on that. She out there passing out on TV and doing all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? But she don't want to talk about that. Why? Oh, you know, you don't like it when the news is about you, but you love making a living talking about everybody else. Mm-hmm. And again, that's why I say, you know, it's a very funny situation. But again, if you're a rich man in the day and age in which we live in America, is it better? I'll go Tiger Beer. Is it better? I ask for all your respect, my privacy now, ladies and gentlemen. Basically. But is it better if you're a man in America? Is the best bet for you, and you're rich, you know, very wealthy. Is it better for you to stay single? You know what I mean? Is it better for you to stay single? Because honestly, the odds are against you. They are quite against you. And it's unfortunate because if people want to find love, if people want to embrace that, I think that they should be allowed to do so. But when it becomes a financial gain for one person and a downfall for the hard work that another person has put in, you know, can you really trust love? You know, you say it's better just to buy out females if you're rich. And again, so if you are a rich man, do you lose? Do relationships lose integrity? Let me see what we got here. Do they lose the possibility of really remaining true? Or, does you being wealthy play a big role into that? Interesting. Bachelors are known for their ambition. What? So you've never watched The Bachelor? Come on. Say, when does the merch drop it? I was actually working on the site now because I've been having some trouble with it for the last couple of weeks, and I finally, that's why I didn't drop any sauce today. Been just really, really trying to deep dive into seeing what the problem is, and I finally figured it out. So I had to kind of reset everything, redo everything. So it'll be up hopefully midday tomorrow because I've had a bunch of people asking me about some merch, some shirts, some mugs, and various things. So hopefully the site will be up tomorrow. It'll just be one site where you can get the Den merch, the Soft Sports merch, and the Honcho merch all from scratch. No, I'm not going from scratch using HTML. No. But a little bit of HTML. It's been a while since I've really been just fully committed. But I do know a little bit of HTML, but I'm not going from scratch. But I had to, there was some back end technicalities that had happened that I didn't realize. And so I had to fix some shit. Improper settings, if you will. But stop dumpster diving for a while, but it happens to everybody. I mean, so should men go, I worked very hard my whole life. I've been busting my ass to find a wife. Should I go for the wife that is, she's well educated, kind of homely looking, she has her stuff together, telling bitches get out the dumpster, exactly. And hoes, thoughts, marks, and lookers. Is that what you want? You say, this is all my hard work. This is what I've put together. This is what I want to represent me. And again, now there are some guys who have started off and they work with the chick they've been with since college or high school or, their first relationship, and they've made it work. They've come up out of the gutter together. I have no problem if you came up out of the slums with this person or, whatever it may be, and they helped you put it together, hey, I have nothing but respect for that. But I'm just saying, in the situation in America, the way we live nowadays, a lot of that doesn't happen. A lot of these relationships happen after a man is already famous, already has a lot of stuff going on. And then, oh, well, you're famous and you're powerful, and now you are attractive to me. So how does that work? Again, I think it's a very sketchy situation. Very, very, very interesting to see how it goes. You say pay for is a better option. And so when you have that ability, is that the best thing to do? Or do you go foreign? Go get validated in another country or something, and then they don't recognize it here in America. I'm like, oh, what? No, that never happened. That was I know that in Jamaica. If so, Illuminati married, anyone can be married. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that idea is. But again, like I said, you see a lot of these little young niggas too. I've seen some of these motherfuckers on who get on the tube and they make a name for themselves, and they weren't anything really prior to that. I'm not knocking it, but I mean maybe they were something whatever else. But they made their name, say, off YouTube and became YouTube famous, and then they get a little chick who is basically fame hungry. And they think they're winning, not realizing that this chick, if you couldn't have had that chick before you were famous, don't date her now. That would be my opinion. If you couldn't have had that chick before you were rich, then don't date her now. But, motherfuckers get into a new bracket. So your best bet is to live in that country. But if you, like I say, I don't even know what y'all thought. I have no idea what none of them motherfuckers are. But like I say, and I think that needs to be kind of the message. Like I say, I would never even like someone was playing ball and stuff I never told chicks that I played football. I just happened to be in shape. So I don't know, if it triggered anything or what. Maybe that was it, being physically sound. might have been a plus. But I never said, oh man, I play football and do this. I don't never use any kind of leverage of anything to gain access to the pussy. That's to me, that's whack as fuck. If you're not taking me at face value or what relatively small information or what you may know about me, then, it is what it is. Again, though, this is what we're going to do. Because I've been talking for a little bit now. And again, I want to know what y'all think, man, about some of these situations, about some of the news that's come out. What situation is the worst? Is Jeff Bezos the worst situation that's come from this? Again, richest man in the world. Is this a first time, would you ever hear something like this from Bill Gates, or does Bill keep it all under wraps? See, what you got to do is you got to have a bitch like Hillary, a fucking pit bull who has bigger aspirations and will do anything to make sure that the marriage is sound, so that she can try to run for president one day. Because she used to basically send out hit squads on all the motherfuckers who was accusing Bill of shit. She was like his fucking private investigator and shit, and she was getting a lot of that shit hushed because Bill was doing his dirt and she just wanted to be a part of something. So you gotta find your motherfucker with aspirations and who needs to keep things looking sound. If you're gonna be out there doing your diddly work, but it's the best bet, just keep your Johnson in your pants, young man. But again, like I say, it's being a man. I can understand when I was that man. I think it took a lot of stuff happening in me, changing my mentality as to what happened. Who won the pass of the vote? Who did win? I think the pass won. I think the pass smoked him, if I'm not mistaken. So again, I'm interested. I want to know how y'all feel. Let me reboot the line first, just to hopefully avoid some problems, and then we'll open it up so that we can dive deeper into this topic, because I find it very interesting. Should powerful men be Kenneth got to get some action first before he can try to cheat on something. So he don't even know. But I mean, should powerful men be more careful with how they operate? You know what I mean? Should they be much more cautious about what they're doing? Should they refrain from doing any of those things? Yeah, you broke. You ain't got nothing to lose. Shit, broke niggas gonna wild out. Shit, you took. Look. So they should be like Diddy. But then what happens with that? I mean, you'd be more content with paying child support as opposed to getting married. You know what I'm saying? Is that the way to go? I didn't even know Diddy had fucking kids. I always wondered about Diddy. Diddy be in a position to take that, take that, take that, take that, take that, take that. Diddy is a very interesting character. I have my questions. So again, like I say, so call into the Den, man. The Den line 281-901 Den 281-901. Well, actually, did I say 901? Okay, well, I might have fucked it up first. 281-901-1336. And who is that? Who is that? Tyron yesterday told me, I don't know the number. I don't even know the number, man. I can't even figure out the number. It's only got 3 numbers. What's the rest of the number? And that's why you are banned in the sauce. But again, man. All right, let's try this again. All right. So there, it was tripping. Let me see. All right. So yes, we look, we got information that we need to share. This is not a time for pranking. We're trying to solve solutions here, Heidi. I know there's Ernest that called in, and I could hear you. So again, if y'all call in, man, and you can't hear me, just go ahead and spill what you want to spill, because I know sometimes it may be difficult for it to bounce back, or for you to hear me back on my end. Like I said, I gotta order another. I gotta figure out what it is, because like I say, I've tried multiple combinations as to get it to where, you can hear me as clear as I can hear y'all. But for some reason, like I say, it's always an issue. But again, if y'all want to call in, like I said, I think it was Ernest calling in. Just call in and then spill it in the den. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, Honcho? This is Ernest, man.
Ernest, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop in the den tonight?
Yeah, a couple of things real quick. All right. On the Bezos situation, man, this is what I think, bro. From my understanding, him and his wife got married a year before Amazon was even founded.
Okay.
So that let me know she wasn't in it for the money. Like, she was with him before he became the richest man in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I understand all the points you're making, man. I agree with it, but I just think in this situation, like, I personally find it hard to blame her, because she was with him, man, before he founded the company. So that's my little take on that. Now, as for Bezos, all these rich men, bro, they definitely got to move more careful, man, because you got way more to lose than you have to gain. You know what I'm saying? And you got to watch out for these females, man, because they opportunists, bro, especially when you get to that stature, man. It's like you really can't trust nobody, man, because, everybody is opportunistic, man. They got to get what they can get. They'll leech out for you, the whole nine, and pretty much pull an Anna Nicole Smith, in a whole nother way. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. They definitely need to weigh their pros and cons, man, because I mean, you coming out $70 billion for a divorce, and then from what I understand, with all the stocks and bonds they got, like, she's still gonna get money off that. So you gotta ask yourself, man, was it worth it? Now, you asked another question about why do people cheat. I think it's a variety of reasons why people cheat, man. Sometimes the thrill is gone, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, people been married 20, 25 years, and it just ain't the same, man. Sometimes, man, we give in to what some people call our lower selves. Like, it ain't in the best interest to do it, especially if you got a good thing going. Like, that go back to the Bezos thing. You got more to lose than gain, meaning, you know what I'm saying, you willing to mess up a good thing, you know what I'm saying, behind what? A late night hype? Like, is it worth it? So, and I sometimes I just don't think some of us either A, put that much thought into it, or B, think that for ahead. You know what I'm saying? It's just more so, like, like a lot of us dudes, we get caught up with what's on the outside, bro. Oh, man, she bad. She jazzy. She a dime. We get caught up with all that, bro, and not really realizing, what's internal, man. You know what I'm saying? Her thought process, her character. Now, I know this ain't for everybody, bro. This only, what I'm saying is only for, I guess if you're trying to be serious, you know what I'm saying, you're trying to settle down, whatever it may be, that's when that come into play. If you just out there, you know what I'm saying, like, just like the youngsters say, smashing and dashing, that don't even apply to you. You know what I'm saying? The last thing I'm gonna touch on, Honcho, is marriage, bro.
Okay.
Marriage, man, go way back. But I mean, back when, dudes was out there, just hunting for the food, man. And women ain't as physically, gifted as men. So men took women under their wing, looked out for them, provided for them, even long before a piece of paper came into existence. You know what I'm saying? Marriage been around. Now, and I do agree, in modern society, man, certain things should be tweaked. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, I do agree with that. But marriage is, now, this last thing I'm going to touch on marriage, bro. I think personally, if a dude can have 4, 5 baby mamas, why can't you have 4, 5 wives? I'm talking about, because the 4, 5 baby mamas, man, you got kids in 5 different households that's not even being provided for in many situations. So if a man is willing to be committed and take care of these kids and these women, I don't see why you know what I'm saying, He can't have 4 or 5 wives if he chooses to do so. But anyway, that's my spiel tonight, Honcho. Appreciate it.
Already, man. Appreciate the call as always, Ernest. Man, very, very interesting. Because we talked about, in the Middle East, as you say, the motherfuckers, the more that they can afford, the more that they get to have. And if somebody said, let me run back to it. Man, the baby mama's thing, man, let me tell y'all something. Last time I was in Harris County, I found that very interesting. A little young nigga, that little nigga was wild too. And he was talking about basically he had a couple of baby mamas. He basically moved them all into the same house. He's like, man, fuck that. I ain't finna be paying for shit over here. And nigga was in them streets though. He's like, I ain't finna be paying for that shit over here. These motherfuckers gonna have to learn to get together. Shit, we a big happy family. This motherfucker. That little nigga was wild. He was funny to the bitch. But that motherfucker was funny. But and he said, basically that he just put all this shit together, man. He just put all this shit together to to consolidate his problems. You know what I'm saying? And it was tough at first, but then they learned how to work it out. Sometimes it still be issues, but they operating like a team now. And I have an interesting question because, like I say, Ernest mentioned, if you got 4 or 5 baby mamas, why not have 4 or 5 wives? Would that be better if you have multiple baby mamas? Would it be better? And again, you got to think about jealousy and envy and other little things. But if you can overcome those problems, would it be better for the upbringing of the children to all live in the same household, even if they do have different moms and different, things like that? So, again, yeah, Kenneth, go ahead and do that. Like I said, if you want to be dumb, you want to say dumb shit. This is why I be having to get on Kenneth's ass, man, because he's a goofball. He's a real live goofball. Kenneth's ass gonna be beat up, fucked up. He's gonna be one of them niggas on the news from Harris County. You're gonna be crying, man, they did me bad. I ain't even do nothing. Roger says the reason why men cheat: thrill of the hunt, low self-esteem, lack of examples of good men, environmental influence, sex addiction, predatory behavior, and selfishness. The God complex. I mean, I can agree with every last one of those. Every single one I can agree with. And again, there's always a bunch of factors. Yeah, you look like you look like you have, well, you got 1 foot in already. You know what I'm saying? Your future is over, Kenneth. You know what I'm saying? And number 8, booze. Booze does sometimes play an influence too. Look, booze will get your ass into a situation but what happens is what booze does, and you can't blame the booze because booze is just there to do what it does. It lets down those inhibitions, and if it's in you, it's in you. You know what I mean? Yeah, we already addressed that women cheat just as much, but the thing about women is that there's no consequences for a woman cheating. There really are limited consequences for a woman cheating. Because what happens if a woman cheats? You get a divorce. You still finna have to pay. You know what I'm saying? You still finna have to deal with it if you're the breadwinner. Again, we talked about Mary J. Blige. We talked about some other things, but I don't think it was because she was cheating. I don't know what that whole situation was. I have no fucking idea. But yes, it's true. People cheat. You know what I'm saying? People cheat. Like, it's not just men, but right now when you hear about it, who are the stories that you always hear losing? It's always powerful men losing everything. They're not everything, but losing half of everything because of cheating. But when you're that rich, does it even matter? When you're as rich as Bezos, does it really matter? Fuck, I'm not the richest man in the world now. What, 3rd or 4th or something now, that goddamn Bill Gates, he's going to stunt on me when he pulls through. He's going to pull up with his Gucci on. Anything Bill can buy, fucking Jeff can still buy, So, I mean, in a situation like that, it sounds crazy to people like us because it's so much fucking money that none of us will see in our lifetimes combined. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
Ready, Josh? What's the motherfucking deal, man? What you want to drop in the den tonight?
All right, man. But this topic, man, I'm kind of glad you had this topic because this topic's been on, the conversation about this topic's been on my head for months, honestly. It's almost topics that I had with, friends and family a little bit. Talking about, man, this situation is almost dang, if you can even have all the money in the world, Bezos is living in that reality that is it going to take, and if you're with somebody, would that person be better off leaving you rather than you having that money? And his situation is almost like the child support situation. It's like if a woman have a child support with a rich person, then their family's rich, but she's not in the one in control. So, and then you have society pretty much encouraging the fact that, oh, you can break up with them and be rich yourself. And I'm not saying that's what she did it on purpose, I'm not assuming that, but you're giving that impression, and I hate that. And I hate that because you got people on Twitter and everybody else talking about, oh, she secured her bag and she did this and she did that, man. And I'm just like, man, this is wrong, man. And it's just like, I'm just being honest, man. Just a couple of years, man. I mean, I don't know if it's happening now, but I'm seeing marriage is becoming irrelevant every single day because, and that's what I was afraid of. I'm afraid that if I, get rich, because I do have a plan to, be wealthy and secure wealth for myself. I'm just afraid that one day, if I go out with somebody that, I'm not saying on the same level as me, but let's say she has just have a regular job, and then all of a sudden we, have a kid, and then all of a sudden I get divorced for whatever reason, and then she walks away with, millions of dollars, man. And that's what I'm afraid of. But I'm gonna do what I can to succeed and the life that I'm living, and we're just gonna see what happens, man.
Already. All right, man. Appreciate the call there, Josh.
All right, man.
All right. My thing with that is I wouldn't be worried about it. Shit, don't worry about that problem till you get the millions. Don't worry about that issue till you get the millions, man. And then you figure it out from there. I think you focus on one plan at a time. Don't think about the downfalls, because when you focus on the downfalls, man, it'll hinder you. You won't even take the baby steps. My thing is, look. When the sauce blows up, when the den blows up, when the Honcho Entertainment Network, naming the works, name in progress. Is the lady Honcho gonna take half of it? Who knows? No, but I mean, that's not something to be concerned about, man. Because again, like I say, if you have the ambition, if you're well off, if you got stuff going for you, I mean, you don't lose that ambition because you got divorced and you lost the money. You're going to continue to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a big deal. 335, what's the motherfucking deal? Peace. But my thing is, what you got to figure out is that, is it worth it in the first place? Like, you have to catch yourself before you do it. My thing with Bezos is, had he not been such a simp, maybe he doesn't get into that situation. Because if you've seen some of those text messages, man, some of the things you were saying, like, because I think, some women can deal with an offense. It hurts. Infidelity is a motherfucker. They can deal with an offense. But I think when you start saying stuff to another woman that you should be saying to your wife, I think it's one thing when you just in pursuit of the pussy. But when you put another woman or another partner or whatever in the same level that you put, your significant other, then you're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? What you have is mixer gone forever. It's pretty much in the bag. But I did end the mixer off on a good note by whooping Shaq Cushion some fucking Tecmo Bowl. But again, my thing about that is, I think that's when it really becomes a problem. Like, thinking with your dickhead is fucking stupid. Nobody's gonna be happy about that. But when you start with the love and the, I love being with you and you just make me feel, all these things that your spouse, your significant other is supposed to make you feel, and you start telling somebody else that, I think those are situations that are harder to bounce back from, because now you're like, okay, well, like Ernest mentioned earlier, about the thrill being gone after so long or things like that. And you got to work hard to keep those things going. You got to work hard to keep that same energy flowing. It's not an easy thing to do. It's a progress. Like people think, oh, well, once we get married, everything's perfect. No, that's when the work really begins. So again, like I say, you gotta, I think that's the thing. Like if it's one thing, if you just got some old side action going on, and again, not justifying that because nobody's gonna be happy about that. But when you start pouring the feelings and the emotions and ooh la la, you start Pepe Le Pewing the bitch, people not gonna be too keen on that, man. I think that's gonna cause a problem. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, Honcho? This is Ernest again, man.
Already, what you want to drop in the den tonight, Ernest?
Hello?
Hello. What you want to drop in the den tonight, Ernest?
Hey, I can't hear you, bro. I hit you right back.
Okay. I don't know. Like I said, we'll figure it out one day. We're gonna get the thing. Like I said, if y'all call in, man, just spill it in the den. Look, we got you. If the call is on, we got you. You know what I'm saying? But again, all right. What's the motherfucking deal? We got called into the den this evening.
Hey, this is Ernest again, bro.
All right, Ernest. What you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
All right, man. I'm gonna start off by saying, quoting Pimp C, when he said, "The women ride harder than the men." Right?
Yeah.
So that's my leeway into what I'm about to say. This is what tripped me out, bro, in a lot of these situations, especially with these athletes, bro. Like, when they was down and out, you can look at D-Wade, whatever, you know what I'm saying, before he made it big. Mm-hmm. Certain women was good enough. You make it big, and all of a sudden, they ain't good enough no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you wonder why you run into the situations you run into. You know what I'm saying? Now, where I'm going with this, bro, is that, man, I lost my train of thought. I had a point, man. I was going somewhere with it, bro. But, yeah, man, it is what it is, bro. If you come back to me, I'll hit you back.
All right, that's a bet there, Ernest.
All right, bro.
All righty. I'm gonna steal the thought and see what I can go with from that. About when he said, they were good enough when you first got with them, but then like I say, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier about once you get rich, don't try to upgrade and fuck with bitches that you couldn't fuck with when you weren't rich. Just because you're on a new plateau or whatever it is. Like I say, now you're using your newfound wealth and fame to substitute his game. So if you didn't have that type of pull when you were broke, don't try to, I guess compensate it, for money and wealth and all that type of stuff, So I think it's very interesting. What's the motherfucking deal we got called into the den this evening?
What's up, Honcho? It's Ant.
Yeah, what's the motherfucking deal, babe? What you want to drop in the den tonight, man?
Shit, man, I gotta disagree with you on your last point, man. I called for that for this very reason.
Okay.
Now, you said we shouldn't try to get a 9 or 10 after you enriched yourself or got better, but just because you couldn't get that 9 or 10 at that point in time don't mean that later in life you can't. So if you work out, lose weight, get on your grind, and finally get some money now, those 9s or 10s are available to you. Why wouldn't you indulge in that? Now, I'm saying this, though. If you're going to be a simp, you can't continue being a simp in that position, in a power position. If you're in a power position, you make power moves. And if you say, hey, you ain't good enough for me no more, then, hey, I got to let you go.
Okay. Well, I'm jotting that down. Okay. So my deal is what makes a 9 or 10, though? Is it just the physical appearance, or does it take more than that?
I think that's on an individual basis. I don't think it's your 9 or 10 can be different from mine. Mm-hmm. But I think looks do have a lot to do with it when it's coming from the men perspective.
Okay. All right. That's a bit, man. I can see where you're coming from in that. I'm gonna talk about that, man. I appreciate the call.
All right, thanks.
Already. Hey man, so he makes a good point. You know, hey, if you put in the work, you know, you was say you was out of there, you was sloppy when you was younger, you know, you ain't really have the knowledge, the intelligence, or the capacity to hold a conversation, or, you know, you was scraping the bottom of the barrel with the bitches you was fucking with for the majority of your life, and then you say, hey, you know what, I'm not doing right, I need to do better. Let me upgrade myself. Okay. I can comprehend that. I can comprehend what you're saying, but I think at the same time, excuse me, what you have is a lot of motherfuckers who kind of overlook some of the shit. They just happy to be there now. Okay, now I'm in a position to fuck with these nonsense, but now I don't think they think about what it is, all the work that they put in to get there, and what they can lose by doing it. So I don't disagree with what he's saying. Hey, if you put in the work, let me fix my elephant there. You're looking backwards. Hold on, wait, you looking at the elephant. If you put in the work, then you should deserve to upgrade. Okay, I can respect that. But again, you got to remember all the work you put in to get there. I think that's what it is, man. I think that's what you have to think about. And like you said, a 9 or 10 to him may be something different to me. I'm a person. Looks are of utmost. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're the most important. They do hold a level of weight, but I think at the point in where I'm at in my life is, it has to be about where you're at, what your mind is like. You know, that is a very important factor. What are you trying to do? What are your future plans? Like, if you don't have dreams, hopes, aspirations, goals, if your whole life is body goals or to look like an IG thought or something like that, and that's where you contented being, then, you know, that's not going to work for me. You know, like I say, conversation rules the nation. Now, if it's just some more side hype or whatever else it is, then I ain't telling nobody, hey, well, go find you a fucking librarian, you know what I'm saying, who look like a porn star when the glasses and shit come off, as a side chick or anything like that, or if that's what you're doing. But my deal is, if you're looking for something that you're going to commit yourself to, and you got to go long term, then looks might be important, because again, you want to keep that sexual flair there. You want to keep those things there. But again, life happens and shit changes. But I can agree with what he said in the sense of, I can agree with what he said. You know, if you put in the work to upgrade yourself, you feel like you deserve better. I can agree with that. But I think if it's just only an influx of money that got you there, then you might need to be more cautious, because if you couldn't do it prior to the money, you know, unless you're just paying them hoes and just pay them hoes and then, you know, be on about your way, that's a whole different situation. But if you couldn't do it prior to the money, I think you need to be more cautious than, you know, anybody else. So I think that's something that you got to think about. But I can agree with what he said. I understand what he's saying. I can definitely dig that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Hey, this is Ernest, man. I remember what I was going to say.
Already, Ernest, what's the motherfucking deal?
All right, I can't hear you, but I assume you can hear me, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, what I was going to say was when Pimp C said the women ride harder than the men, you know, like a lot of women, bro, they real, they stay down like 4 flats, man. You know what I'm saying? Through thick and thin. And an example I want to use real quick is Denzel Washington. Everybody knows at a certain point in his career, he had things going on the side. But what I respect about Denzel and the likes, bro, is that at the end of the day, he always knew where home was at. And I think a lot of men, bro, that got good women and they let these side chicks come in and wreck their home or whatever it may be. I just think that, bro, at the end of the day, you can't forget where home at. So you got to have enough, whatever you want to call it, to be like, look, you ain't my wife. You ain't gonna replace my wife. I mean, to me, you just gotta lay it down what it is, and if she understand that, then all right, cool. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just think a lot of us gotta keep it more real. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the women do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it's right, but I'm saying if you gonna go out there and do that, just don't forget where home at the end of the day, especially if you got a real one. But that's what I got, Honcho. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Appreciate the call there, Ernest. Okay. And I think you got a couple of them like that. I think, you know who held it down the longest? Shit, Cosby wife. She stuck by his side through all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's a very interesting one. I'm not saying go out there pilling it up and dealing it up, but do what you do. But he's saying, don't forget what home is, man. And I think that's important too. And I think that also ties into what I was saying about how dudes will go out there and start replacing, like I said, old buddy with the text, he was saying, you know, all that lovey-dovey extra shit, instead of those are messages that he should have been sending, you know, to his wife or whatever it is. You know, he's sending to the side chick, letting her feel like she's in that position. You know what I'm saying? Say mess around, but after you finish having sex, make sure you wipe your dick off in the sink, go back home to your wife. Yeah, make sure you use soap, you know, if that's the case. You know, but so you better upgrade before she does. All right, hold on. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got called into the den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man. But but I called in to try to confirm your point, and you was right about that. You know, you can only pay people to some point, man. Because I don't want to be that, you know, rich dude all alone out here paying hoes just for me to have enjoyment for just 5 minutes and stuff. And it's almost to the same point about that John Gray situation, because that's what people got mad because. Think about it, because that Lambo. If John Gray was a regular dude, do you see that woman going back out with him after all that happened? I mean, I don't think so. Maybe anybody else in the chat, maybe they think different. Maybe they can call in and say it, but I don't think so either, man. So people with money got privileges, man. But then again, I don't want to be that dude that's like, a girl's only with me because I had that. I can just cheat on you a whole bunch of times, but you're going to stay with me because I have money and you don't want to work for yourself. You don't have anything going for yourself. And you just want to stay with me because, oh, we all good because I make millions right now. So it's just one of the extra things to think about for me.
Okay. Man, you brought up a very good point. I'm going to speak on that, man. I appreciate the call, Josh.
All right, man.
Alrighty. Very good point. And we brought that up briefly earlier, you know, saying, you know, a couple of things, and I'll see y'all in the in the comment. Man, if you got to pay a bit, do you get a discount if you only go for 5 minutes? If you got to break bread with a broad, like, or is it just how does that work? How does that work? You know, like, hey, look, I was only in here 5 minutes. You know, can I get a half off? Can I get a 75% discount or something? You ain't have to work that hard. Nah, but all bullshit to the side. But what he was saying about John Gray and buying his wife, we talked about Kobe buying the ring. Like, is that a lower standard for the women? I mean, would they have still stayed if it wasn't for this? And I'm sure Kobe spent more than just the ring. The ring is just what we all saw. I'm sure there was more than that. But if it wasn't for the material aspects of it, the stability, the stability of the situation, you know what I mean? The Lambo. So my value as a wife is a Lambo for getting cheated on. Do I get? Let me see. Let me word this right. A ring. What the fuck does a ring do? Honestly, I got a $4 million ring on my hand. I feel special. Really? Like, what is that? How does that? That's why I say material shit in this America is really strange. But again, the fucking Lambo. Well, everybody's gonna see this Lambo. I don't know what color it is or what it is, but every time somebody pulls up, especially with the notoriety of this country. Where's my damn mouse at? I lost the mouse. I think it's my bad. My shit dead. But I lost the mouse. Where the fuck the mouse went? Interesting. I don't know. I think it's this. My mouse might have done died. But oh, it's right there. What the fuck is going on? My battery dead? Interesting. That is very interesting. We have to figure out how we're going to resolve that problem. But again, like I say, you know, you pulling up in the Lambo, or you pulling up in the whatchamacallit, everybody's going to see that Lambo and look and say, oh, she motherfucking me got that because her husband cheated on her, because her husband was moving around, whatever. So every time she pull up, they ain't thinking about, oh, that's a nice ass car you got. Oh, you got cheated on and got that? You know what I mean? Like, that's going to be the take. That's going to be the perspective that people are going to have when they look at that. And so I find it very interesting that, that these material things, that people are going to look at that rock, that $4 million rock, and say, interesting. I didn't think that people are going to look at that and say, you got that because of whatever situation that you got into. I'm mad now because I got to figure out why this dilly-dally now is not acting appropriately. I don't even see, maybe I wasn't paying attention. Is this thing dead? Oh, yes. Very low battery. That is a problem. I don't know. I don't think I got nothing to replace it with either. So the den may go on forever. But here's the deal, though. Like I said, that is craziness. I did not see that. That must have just happened. I must not have been paying attention at all. But pardon all the stuff in the background. Son of a bitch. Hold on. Okay, I think we got it fixed. So again, like I say, the thing about it is, with that type of mentality, is that telling you what is going on in America? And I have no idea. I don't know what y'all said. I can't even go back in the chat to follow up, but I just see some real scarce stuff going on. So I don't even know what y'all talk about. I don't even want to know. Yeah, I'm trying to fuck shit up. I'm trying to get the shit fixed, but I gotta get some batteries, man. And it broke the battery. But a materialistic world, again, that we're living in, again, the situations that we are facing in this Western world, is that what saves a marriage, a materialistic item? And if you were in a marriage that couldn't afford that, does that say where the woman's mind is? Does that say where the relationship is really based on? You know what I mean? So very interesting situation that we're in. So niggas in the chat being gay. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I'm not even trying to even find out, man. But here's the deal, because I think I'm gonna have to figure out a way to wrap this up a little earlier than planned, because with this little device acting all cuckoo crazy, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to tweak it. And hey, one of the mods in there, go ahead and hit that there, Kenneth, with a timeout, because I would love to do it myself. I would love to do it myself. You said something about then the devil can't break our marriage. Yeah, the devil can't break your marriage if you can be bought for your marriage. I mean, sure, if that works for you, then it'll work. Appreciate that. Already, so you probably got some double damage. Good. My about to enjoy a wedding ring was gonna be a blow pop. Goddamn, ain't that a bitch? But here's the deal, man. Like I said, I hate to interrupt it and run it short. But like I said, I'm gonna have to do some little nuances and tweak it and getting shit in order here, because it's all acting janky. But fuck real family too. Somebody time real family too. God damn it. So yeah, we definitely got some odd shit. I'll probably have to go grab some batteries and shit to. That's oddly pleasing. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wind it down, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through. I'm annoyed now because I got to fucking fight with this goddamn mouse and shit. I don't be switching through windows, doing all kind of odd shit just to end the stream. So, with that being said, short day and a night. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We may continue the conversation because there's a few points that were made that I did want to kind of get on. And I don't judge anybody often. I'm lying. I be judging like a motherfucker. I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to get better at that. But with that being said, man, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I got to get a wired mouse. That's definitely what I need to do. I said I was going to get one the other day. I need to have one wired just in case for situations like this. But with that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate y'all for following through. And damn, I don't even know if I can do the outro because, the shit acting janky. So y'all just going to get the off click. Until next time. Appreciate y'all falling through the den. I'm out.